you need a video with something constantly happening in order to keep your attention, this is not the right one for you. Because I'm just trying to be real with you. So real, in fact, I can put right there. Watch. That being said, I think I just sat in geese poop. Okay, we're good. That being said, we're gonna talk about why humanity is chaotic and the evolution of consciousness and how those two relate. So, from a young age, I realized that everybody was, really sad, and why people on Earth are so sad really puzzled me, and I was always trying to solve it. And so I would analyze the world and think about how it relates to who we are as natural humans, and eventually things really started to make sense. We're doing everything that is really against what we are as a human, and from the second you wake up with an alarm. Like your body will wake up when it needs to. Like sleeping in has become a treat, really. And that's just kind of part of it when it comes to why people are sad and the way the world now works. And so I would think, always had the question in the back of my mind if humans are or are not meant to be something more than humans and something special. So there's many uncomfortable truths when it comes to such an idea, and thankfully, it is quite a comforting truth which is the answer to that question. And the answer is that we are meant to be something more than humans, and we are meant to be something special. And you see that is because of evolution, right? Despite your beliefs, no matter what religion you come from, no matter if you're just atheist, existence just is, then evolution in the universe still happens no matter where you look. If you look at a seed, within that seed's lifetime, it will sprout into a sapling, and it'll become a tree. And where did that sapling get its information from? Well, it got it from its previous generation. You see, no matter where you look, is just an unfoldment of evolution. And when it comes to the human experience, it is all tying together. You see, before we were humans, we were something, perhaps, and before then, and that species before us came with less consciousness, right? Its experience was much reduced to more or less the sleeping, eating, and reproducing aspect of reality. But now, again, humans have something special and different. And you see, if you take that idea of what we were beforehand and you look into the future, it's not such a bold claim for me to say that one day we're going to be beyond human. And with a beyond human body, we'll become a beyond human mind. And perhaps just as recently, maybe always, or maybe recently, is that we are starting to reach that pivotal moment of that switch in mindset. You see, I don't know how long it's going to take, whether it's decades or centuries or maybe thousands of years, but it will happen. Whether or not it's in the right direction is the tricky part. See, that's why where you put your attention matters so much. You see, for all of human history, we've been doing things like putting our attention everywhere outside of ourselves. You see, we do things like build massive buildings, and soon they're going to crumble one day. And we do things like put our attention into our relationships with people, and I'm sure all that cute stuff is amazing, but the thing is that you don't truly have it. And so, because we're going everywhere and just scurrying around this earth for a sense of security, and every human does that on a little bit of a level. It all adds together, and that's where the war comes from. And suppose there's a lot more into it when it goes into that, but any rational, insane person with the security understands that that's a very unnecessary way to do things. Okay, so it's easy to just say that, but we need to get back to where we put the importance of our attention. See, our attention is come to a point where we are quite literally steering the road of our evolution. I forgot. The tears are the tree of our evolution. We're quite literally capable of steering it at this point, and we're putting our attention to everywhere besides ourselves. And it's so important that you put your attention in the best place possible. And the best place possible to put your attention is somewhere that doesn't even matter. It's your mind. You see, when we put our attention towards things like the scrolling, like we're just doing this, you can't even sit for 5 minutes. You're draining yourself of yourself, and it has drastic effects on the entirety of your life, all the way across it. And kids are growing up in this generation, and there's going to be very few that can tell and know any better, and it's not going to be such a great earth, I guess we could say. But when we focus our attention on our mind, you're, instead of draining yourself of yourself, you're actually filling yourself with yourself more when you put your own attention on your mind. You see, I promise you there's a difference. Don't go on social media for a day and then meditate, and then go on social media for a day and then meditate. I promise you there's drastic differences. You see, when you start doing such a thing, it's where you find, the forgiveness. You might get into a state where you're not really thinking, and you're not really worrying, and you're not really looking into the future, and you might forget that you're there altogether. But eventually you get to a point where you go, huh, maybe that was pretty nice. Yeah, maybe that was pretty good. And then as you go through with such an exercise, you'll be able to see things in other people, and you'll be able to see the root of where their actions are coming from. And it's basically, expanding your consciousness, evolving your consciousness as humanity is subtly, to not such a big degree, but this can definitely create an exponential, more or less, evolution of your mind. And you see, if humanity, if a big and wider amount of humanity began to do this, that's God's work. If you could do this for 10 minutes a day, you're doing God's work. There's those small changes in humanity's mind that we need. It's nothing super duper. See, like the gratification that you get out of life, or that an animal would receive out of life, is built by its environment, right? So an environment could shape a potential species in order to have gratification out of their experience, but that is only if you operate out of the primal mind. You will be satisfied through primal desires. But when you expand your mind beyond the primal desires, is when you can find gratification in almost every aspect of everything. Alright, maybe that last bit was a farce, but could you imagine what the world would be like if humans didn't have to constantly be going somewhere and doing something all of the time in order to, do whatever it is they think they're doing, of course. You see that the world on the outside, like the world that we construct, is just a byproduct of what is happening on the inside of our minds. That's what the whole world is built off of. That's what all of our actions, like that's the only thing you truly have. So if something's not right with the mind, there's not going to be a whole lot that's right anywhere else. So the foundation of our mind is obviously the foundation of our world, and if we were to change the mind of humanity is when the world will change. Thank you. Alright, so this video took a lot quicker for me to make than I thought it would, and now my phone died, so I'm recording on my iPad. I wanted to make it 16 minutes because I'm 16 and I'm turning 17 very, very soon. So 16 minutes of wisdom by a 16-year-old just, sounded cool for a video title. But I suppose now I just kind of explained to you, like, my life, I guess. not my life, but like my life plan, I guess. Starting out, I dropped out of high school. Never liked school, I guess. Oddly enough, strangely, yeah, I know who likes school. So I dropped out, and I gave myself no choice. It's like, oh well, you're gonna drop out of high school. You're gonna be screwed. You're definitely screwed at that point, or at least go to high school. Nah, there's plenty of opportunities, and I give myself no choice. Either I work hard enough, or I'm too stupid. That's my idea. So get creative. Give yourself no choice but to be creative is what I did, and it's working out so far. Put in those 12-hour shifts at any given fast food restaurant that I get hired at, and then I'm investing not in crypto but in crypto mining companies, as it shows they have greater returns than normal crypto. And I should be retired actually by age 20, if not 19, whenever the next crypto shoot off, and then after that I'm going to get all that money that I made off of the crypto mining, and then I'm going to put it into ETFs, and then after that what I can do is live off dividends. And now it's not retirement is usually the end of somebody else's life, but for me it's really going to be the beginning. It's going to give me time to do this and have security in it, and do a little more than just work a job for people, because like I said, the world is sad and I wanted to do something about it, so I was going to be a therapist, but that's just not enough. It's not working with individuals is not it's not what needs to happen. We need societal change, and it's about the societal and the systems. It's hard to change the world and whatnot, so doing what everybody else does wasn't gonna be very effective in that, of course, is what I realized. And then I choose to, of course, I'll be a minimalist. I'll probably be living in a car or something like that, and I'll be able to go everywhere I want in the world, so I could learn whatever it may be, whenever I do, and so I could share it and, of course, give perspective. And I don't want to think that anything I have to say or do is more or less valid than what anybody else has to say or do. But the idea of a great thinker, that was always so, it was always so attention capturing, I guess you could say. The great thinker, why doesn't everybody just do that? If all these great minds in humanity did so many marvelous things for humanity, why doesn't everybody try to do that more? That's just puzzling to me. When it comes to how much you can think, I wouldn't want to say it comes to your IQ, although IQ is more certain for specific tasks, but generalized tasks of wise decision making. I say anyone can kind of learn if they took the time for it. So it's always also been sort of my mission my whole life, whenever I talk to people, is just try to get them to think. So that's kind of my goal for my life. I wish I was, maybe I could do something for someone at least, and it stops me because I don't know. It's just where I'm drawn, what I'm drawn to do. I don't know if it has any significant meaning in the universe, or the ripple through the universe, or any matter in the universe when it comes to the afterlife or karma and all that. And perhaps if you knew what existence was while you did it, it wouldn't really be any fun. So there's that much. I want to blow people's minds. That's my favorite thing. Everybody wants to just have a good time, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to have fun and all that, but to me you don't really have to search for a good time if you realize that the time you're having is simply good. So that's also what puzzled me, as people all over go to wherever. We have massive businesses taking advantage of it. They go to these places and they drink this poison, and I guess they called it a party. And I never really understood them. Never really went to them. I mean, I had the chance to, but I never really was interested because it just wouldn't. Maybe I should have. I don't know. But confident that with the clips I've given you, this video will be able to be called 60 Minutes of Wisdom Given by a 16-year-old. And although I probably could have gone deeper, I am pressured to upload this due to how much time I have and my work schedule and everything else. Especially because I'm not going to be 16 for much longer, so I don't want to lie either. So there's me, and I want to do a little more than work a job and be a little more than. I actually dislike attention. I don't like attention, but like I was thinking about being faceless, but I don't know. I don't know if I could. I don't know. I just want to be authentic, so I don't want to be faceless, but this is what I'm doing, I guess. Thank you.